Good evening, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank you for tuning back in and for, of course, subscribing to my channel and liking it this last while. And thank you for supporting me on this journey. And yeah, we've been waiting 2 days for this announcement for the Scotland team. Of course, the Springboks were early in their team selection, and they, of course, had early access granted, but after they asked for it to be released. And yeah, so we've had the Springboks out now for 2 days, and Scotland just announced their team today. So let's go through their team selections, and let's have a quick discussion afterwards. Okay, so first things first, on the front row of Scotland, we're going to be going through Scotland first. So let's go front row Scotland: Piers Kuman, loosehead prop, George Turner on the hooker, and Xander Fagerson back for Scotland on that tight head prop position. Then number 4 and number 5, Richie Gray and Grant Gilchrist. Congratulations to them for making it to their third World Cup. So they'll be looking at really trying to overcome that hurdle that is Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert. Then we've got Jamie Ritchie, the captain, and Rory Darge on those flanker positions, and then Jack Dempsey on the 8th man position. Something funny that I've actually noticed is that Jack Dempsey is quite a bit lighter than his opposite number, and I think it was around about a 20 kilo difference. Sure, it's quite a bit of a change. Then your number 9 position, Ben White. Your number 10, Finn Russell, probably the best fly half in the Northern Hemisphere, in my opinion. 11 being Duan van der Merwe, number 12 and number 13 being Tui Pilotu and Hugh Jones. Hugh Jones, of course, coming through the South African school system. Yeah, so then your number 14, Darcy Graham, probably one of the most impactful players on that team, along with Finn Russell, and Blair Kinghorn wrapping up that starting 15. Let's have a look at your replacement players. Dave Cherry, hooker replacement. Jamie Barty and VPNL prop replacements. VPNL is getting a little bit on in years, 37 years old now. I don't know. Yeah, I would have maybe gotten somebody else to play in his position first now. But anyways, yeah, VPNL is still there. Scott Cummings and Matt Fagerson. I would imagine Matt Fagerson is to really to be able to counter that whole bomb squad coming on from the Springboks. And then, of course, Ali Price, your scrum half position replacement. Cameron Redpath, your centre, and Ollie Smith, your fullback replacements. And yeah, so that's your Scotland team selection. I do believe that Finn Russell is going to be quite an impactful player for them. Of course, he knows how to get those cross kicks in. He's very, very good at it. And then, of course, getting it to his 2 wings, Duan van der Merwe and, of course, Darcy Graham. Darcy Graham, probably, for me, the standout player there. I think Duan van der Merwe just sometimes gets into his own head a bit. And it's really the chance for him to really prove himself once again. He is a very strong runner, very strong player, very fast. We like to claim him a lot of the times as being a South African. So really, I do think that he will have an interesting time against his opposite number in Kurtley Arendse. Arendse, of course, getting quite a lot of attention at the moment. But anyways, so that's that. Your Scotland team. Let's quickly go through the Springbok team, and then we'll really have a chat about how the 2 teams match up. In your number 1 position, Stephen Kitsoff. Number 2, your hooker, Malcolm Marks. And number 3, Frans Malherbe. Then, of course, on the locking duo, you've got Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert. Once again, those 2 really play well together. We've seen that New Zealand game. I think it was the New Zealand game where they played together. Anyways, so we know these guys, they can take the ball off. We know they're good in the scrum. We know they're physical prowess that Ibn Etzebeth brings to the field. So really good to see him there. And then of course Siya Kolisi, the captain, back on the field again, alongside Peter Stef du Toit, of course having the time of his life at the moment. A bit of a surprise inclusion in this team, although maybe not as much of a surprise. Jasper Wiese, of course, making his appearance again in the starting number 8 jersey. Of course, I think a lot of it's just to mitigate the time for Dwayne Vermeulen. He's really been playing very impactful, and of course they need to maybe save him for some other games as well. So yeah, Jasper Wiese being that strong ball carrier, good under the high ball, and of course that's the reason why he's been selected there. The number 9 and 10 pairing, Faf de Klerk and Manie Libbok. So Faf de Klerk, he of course he's getting his 50th cap here, so really congratulations to him. And then of course Manie Libbok. Manie Libbok has been really impressing me in his gameplay. Of course, he manages to get that backline unlocked and really poses quite an attacking problem for other teams. Number 11, Cheslin Colby. Of course, we know Cheslin Colby. Everybody loves Cheslin Colby. He's one of the best wingers in the world. Numerous times, in many people's opinions, player of the year. So really good to see him there. Your number 12 and 13 jerseys being filled by Damien de Allende and Jesse Kriel. Of course, a lot of people I see online has been questioning that whole setup of Damien de Allende and Jesse Kriel. A lot of people have been preferring Andre the Giant and of course Moody. Moody obviously being ruled out with a little niggle, and obviously they're just nursing that specific problem back to health. And then of course Andre the Giant sitting this one out. Look, I mean, it's hard to be angry at this selection. It's a very good selection. Damien de Allende for many years have been our number 1 in that number 12 jersey, and really Jesse Kriel as well. To be honest, I've been pretty critical about Jesse Kriel in the past, but judging on his latest form in those last 2 games that he played, he really played cracker of games. So really, if he continues on that trend of the way he's been playing, I do believe that we are about to see quite a nice performance from them. And then of course number 14, Kurtley Arendse. If I'm not mistaken, he's sitting on about 11 tries in 9 games. So flipping well done, man. You're really making us proud. Try scoring machine. Good to see him there. And then the number 15 jersey, Damian Willemse. Of course, I would imagine Damian Willemse being selected purely because he slots in so nicely with that number 10 jersey, Manie Libbok. Obviously with the history playing together in the Stormers, they really do tie up nicely. And I do find that a lot of this type of team selections that we've been doing is rather not best player in best position, but rather best combinations. And I do believe that Damien Willemse and Manie Libbok makes quite a good combination. Of course, it also takes a little bit of pressure off Manie with Damien on the field to be able to make some decisions on cross kicks and kicking downfield. So, and if Manie is having a bit of difficulty with the poles, of course Damien can slot right in there as well. And then of course your replacements, Bongi Mbonambi, Oxenchair and Trevor Nyakani, your front row replacements. Of course, we know these guys as the bomb squads. Is of course again a 6-2 split today for this Sunday, and I'm very excited to see how they go up against those replacements on Scotland. I do not think the Scotland team's bench has got anything close to the type of depth or even the type of quality of players than what the Springboks got, and I think that really might be the deciding factor between who wins and who loses this game. Of course, your number 19 jersey, Erke Snyman, your number 20 jersey, Marco van Staden, or Eskom as we know him, and then of course Dwayne Vermeulen rounding up that 6-2 split for the forwards. And then number 22, Grant Williams, very, very happy to see him on there. I've been waiting game after game for this guy to make his return, and really I think he's going to show why he belongs there if we do take off Faf de Klerk maybe at maybe 60 or 70 minutes. Although he might even be a wing cover because he is very, very fast. According to a lot of people, he's the fastest person on the field. Well, in our team anyways. So, yeah, maybe even a wing replacement. So, and then of course, Willie Leroux rounding off that 2 split for the backs. And of course, Willie Leroux is currently being, I'm assuming, saved for a bit of the later on games because you really need that level head. A level head in play, maybe not so much with the refs, but anyways, that is your 23 versus 23 Springboks against Scotland. I'm very excited to see how this is going to pan out. As I said in my predictions, I do believe Springboks would take this. If I recall correctly, I've got them up for 13 to win by 13. I've seen some very crazy predictions, maybe plus 20. I don't know about that. The Scotland is playing a very good game. I just think the difference would be maybe that replacements. And then I do imagine that Pieter Steph du Toit might actually cover the same position as what he's done in the 2019 World Cup final against the English. And when I say position, what I'm referring to is him really being there to shut down that number 10 channel, that Finn Russell from getting quick ball and to obviously to be able to do anything with that ball and putting his wings out back. So I do imagine that he's there to really disrupt that whole part of the gameplay, and I would imagine with this backline selection that it's very much on a defensive type of gameplay whilst still being mixed with a little bit of offense. Of course, what I'm referring to is your Damien Yelena and Jesse Kriel being very good in your defensive line, and I would imagine that they really put there to fend off somebody like Duan van der Merwe, because he does tend to like to run inside against the centers. So yeah, I do imagine that they're going to be there to really counter that. And then of course I do want to see the whole matchup between Duan van der Merwe and Kurtley Arendse. I do think that he might step him a couple of times, so that would be interesting to see. And then of course on your bench, as I mentioned, I think that really those guys are going to make all the difference in that second half. Maybe on 50 minutes, sub off the whole front pack, all 6 the guys coming on, and then of course with Grant Williams putting some extra pace when those Scottish guys have been tired out a little bit by that starting 15. I do think he will make quite a difference as well, making those guys really reconsider why they even decided to play this game, because he's also got some fantastic stepping ability, and as I mentioned earlier, is very fast, and then Willie can marshal it there from the back. So yeah, guys, I don't know what your thoughts are. I was underwhelmed when I saw the team selection, but once I've given it some thought, I was like, okay, it's actually you cannot be mad at it. I mean, sure, everybody's got some favorites in the team. Maybe some people would have wanted to see Andre Esterhuizen. I'm one of those people. I really enjoy his gameplay. He really takes the people forward. He knows how to get over that advantage line, and he really tends to break tackles as well. So quite a strong runner. But I mean, at the end of the day, you cannot be mad at that team selection. As I mentioned before, Damien Yelena is certainly no slouch. He's not off of form. He's actually still pretty much on form. So it's just, I think a lot of times, you get it in your head, like when you see somebody like Kanan Moody coming on, and he really has this impressive gameplay, and he slots in so well with Andre Esterhuizen, and you think to yourself, well, what a pairing, and that is what we need. And I mean, these guys, there's nothing wrong with them. The game before the last one, when Jesse Kriel played, he really was a revelation. I've got all new respect for him, because he was getting a little bit long in the tooth for me after the couple of years that he's been with the Boks, and but still he played a fantastic game. I mean, one of the games of his life, I think. Really very, very impressive. And if he can also put that form back on this type of game, where we have to start off against Scotland, number 5 in the world, I mean, I cannot imagine why we would lose this game. So Sorry guys, I know a lot of you are Scottish fans that's on my feed as well, and you know, I do agree that your team is a very good team. They stand a very good chance in beating us as well, but my personal feeling on that note is that the Boks are just going to be a little bit too powerful, having that type of strengths where the Scottish team is maybe lacking a little bit. I do not think that the forwards can match up with the Springbok forwards whatsoever. I don't think they can do it on the starting 15s forwards, and I also do not believe they can do it with the bench. So really, it's going to be a hard day at the office for Scotland. I don't imagine their gameplay being anything but really focusing on Finn Russell and what he can do with his magic gameplay abilities, because really he's very good. Like I really rate him very high amongst the top in the world. So yeah, really, I think a lot of that's going to be, you know, like Scotland likes a lot of broken gameplay and stuff like that, but I think South Africa's team is just going to be suffocating the ball out of their hands the whole time. So yeah, I'm very excited to see this game, guys. It's probably about 2.5 hours before the kickoff of New Zealand against France. I'm so flipping excited. I'm going to be watching the game. First game in, I think it's a fantastic starting game. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Sunday, of course, I'll be doing 2 videos. So please check out for that. The first would be episode 2 of the podcast I'm part of with Keith from Fairweather Rugby Fan, and of course my second video is going to be none other than the reaction to the Springboks versus Scotland. Well, it will depend on what type of person you see that day, because I might be very pissed off or I might be very happy. So South Africans are pretty critical of their team, so yeah, I tend to look forward to that, and let's hope it's good news for South Africans and bad news for Scotland. I'm hoping for that. I want them to have a good game, but I don't want them to beat us. I actually think it pretty much sucks that they're put in this pool. I think they needed to be in maybe Pool C or Pool D to really give them an opportunity to go to that quarters and semi-finals, even possibly. I really think they got the team to do it. So, but yeah, that's the luck of the draw. I do believe South Africa is going to win our pool. So, unfortunately, we need to go through Scotland to get there. And yeah, guys, let's see you guys on the next video. Please like and subscribe. Put your comments in the comment section. I'm generally very active on my YouTube, so I will probably very likely respond, unless it's when it's obviously night time here and I'm sleeping, but generally I'll respond the next morning. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you for sticking with me. Have yourself a fantastic evening, and let's have some fun with the World Cup, man. Enjoy. Ciao.